From the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker, we're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we are back for another week, and it is Holy Week, so if you are religious out there, Catholic, whatever, happy Holy Week. But a week of reflection, and we're going to be reflecting a lot today with Flying Rich and
Crumpy!
Also TLD After Dark, who is hiding apparently.
Hey guys.
Yeah, the whole Black Swan Media family here, minus a couple people like Shooting Gallery New England, Shooting Gallery, I should say, who is out there. I see Brandon, I see Tech Money, C&T Designs, Johnny Bar, Kurt 23, Zanti Misfit,
Kurt 23,
Kurt 24, Kurt 23 is his brother.
I was going to say that must be his little brother.
Mr. Bullshitter, and a few other people. General Champ out there, as we're Zanti Misfit, I think I already said. Lightning Scott,
Lightning McQueen,
Warhammer. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to get into. But first, how was your guys' weekends?
Good. I went to
The Gathering.
Gathering, and Dark wasn't there.
Neither was I. How was that? How was the Gathering?
It was good.
It rained. I don't like rain.
Rain. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. My weekend was okay. I got to go to the range.
They gave away free swag. That was probably the entry swag was the best. They gave Savior gave active noise canceling headsets away each day in the morning.
Nice.
So are you alluding to you receiving more than one set?
I got one. I'm giving one away.
That's very kind of you.
I'm gonna do a giveaway.
That's cool.
Nice.
I had a good weekend. I mean, good would be an adequate way of explaining it or describing it, rather. It wasn't awesome. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't terrible. It's just a busy weekend. Made a couple errors in my private life this weekend, which Rich will probably laugh at me about because I called him every time I made a mistake this weekend. But I did get to go to the range and actually went with one of my Boog brothers, and we were able to put some rounds on paper, and it was good.
Yeah, I volunteered packing up food for the poor all day Saturday, and then on Sunday went out for Palm Sunday for like a lunch.
Yeah, Easter Sunday's a Sunday coming up. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be in church every night this week, except for like Thursday night.
Thursday, I'm going to be in church. Holy Thursday.
There's Holy Thursday? Yep. I mean, there's Good Friday.
The Good for Holy Thursday is the day before.
Have you guys ever heard of, there's like a meme and they're describing, what happened, and Jesus is like, oh my goodness, that sounds like a terrible day. What do you guys call it? They're like, we call it Good Friday.
Well, okay then.
So, let's see. Tonight we got Bible study. My wife's doing planning for the Easter for the kids in the neighborhood. So the church does an Easter egg hunt to bring kids in.
Time out. Flag on the play. I'm sorry. You said you have a Bible study tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What time?
6:30.
And it runs until approximately what time?
I don't know, 9ish probably. No,
Okay.
I
I
think
know
it's
what
like
Dark's
8.
getting
No,
at
no,
because
I
we're
think
supposed
it's
to be
like
doing
6:30.
something tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had plans on coming back to the house
6:30 to 8.
before 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
We
I'll
still got to
be
pick a
I'll be
topic.
I'll be here. We got a list of topics.
I
Fine, we
think
got a
it's
list of topics.
I think it's Rich's topic tonight, or is it Crump's?
Who
I know I
knows? I
got a
mean,
list of them.
Yeah, we had a spreadsheet back when
I
we
still
used
have the
to.
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So let's see. Tuesday is biblical citizenship, where we talk about the founders of this country and their belief in God and how it was structured according to the Bible. For those that believe the founding fathers were deists and Satan worshippers and
Mhm.
worse yet, Masonic Lodge members,
Weird. I found a
Freemasons.
book that I wrote like 2 years ago. I never really, actually, no, 2016. Never released it.
Oh, so you're one up on all of us for books? Is that what you're saying? Is that you just rub it in our face?
No,
Let's see.
I'm just saying I found a book that I've never actually, I finished it, but I only get the first draft done. I never went back. Forgot all about it.
Was that good? Is what you're saying? I'm not sure I understand, John.
Sorry,
No, it's just funny.
I had to take that.
It's just funny that forgot all about it.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys.
What's going on?
Do you guys usually hang up flags in front of your home?
I have an American flag and Israeli flag in front of my house right now.
Really?
Mhm.
I didn't know if you were joking.
No,
I
it's
do.
weird.
Not all the time, but I do.
What, an American flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I
have
won't
Mr.
hang
Tang
any
in
other
the
country's
audience.
flags.
Mr. Putang. God, I love Putang so much.
All right. Well, let's do this.
Well, do you mind just real quick if I just kind of complete that thought? It'll be super quick.
Yeah.
So, since you guys, generally speaking, have flags outside of your home, and you guys are flag owners, how do you guys feel about red flags?
Hmm. Hmm.
But
What do you mean by
If
red?
they're communist Chinese flags and they're over in Asia, I'm okay with that.
Do
it
I
was
believe
really
that
just this segue into one of the conversations that we were talking about. But yeah, no, go ahead, Crump. You got it. I just work here.
let me answer it. Do like a law against it, a law for it? Do I think they should, or what do you mean?
Well, no, I mean, it's the topic where we're discussing red flag laws.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't like talking about.
I
Like,
want to say, dude, you should be
actual.
able to put whatever flag you want up in front of your house.
I agree, and I don't believe that anyone should be able to stop anyone from doing it, because the moment they say, so look at how the United States is flipped, right? If today everyone said, yeah, we should be able to tell anyone you can't put up any flag that's not a United States flag, like whatever, right? And let's say everyone, or most people in the general populace is like, yeah, they're right. We shouldn't let anyone put anything up except an American flag. Things change, times change, people change, right? Remember that the country, at one point, the FBI was full of people, mostly conservative, that were literally hunting communists. I mean, they were following them to communist party member meetings, and they were notating
The
license
good old
plate
days.
numbers. The good old days, right? Back when
The McCarthy
everyone,
era.
yeah, when we were,
Now
I
they're
mean,
just
even
using Google AIs to detect people with, firearms.
oh, and now, oh man, we can talk about what we discussed earlier too. Now they're using Alphabet, Google, YouTube to literally scan for viewers to identify them, because YouTube does a good job of covering your IP address and your info with proxy stuff. But anyway, things change, right? So at one point, it was a bunch of people that wanted to conserve the republic, that were, and I'm not just saying conservative Republicans, listen to what I'm saying. There were people that wanted to conserve the republic, okay? And they were hunting communists and Marxists. Now look at where we are right now as a country. So before anyone out there says, oh, these people shouldn't be, I've heard people say Antifa shouldn't be able to get guns. What? That's why we have guns, so we can shoot them in the face if we need to. Anyway, that was just my whole thing. So never, like Crump was going to say, people can put up any flag they want. Never project your insecurities and your feelings or your thoughts like that onto someone else that you wouldn't be prepared to receive yourself.
All right. So I put up a poll on the YouTube, on John Crump Live YouTube,
Poll.
that is asking for topics. I picked 4 of the topics that we have listed because it only gives you 4 options.
Okay.
Those options are explosives in the 2A, Convention of States.
Hold on, no, we already did the explosives in the 2A.
All right, well, okay, well, that's taken away then. We did, didn't we? All right.
That was a great episode, by the way.
All right, we got Convention of States, ACAB versus Thin Blue Line, or 2A people of slaves on the Republican plantation.
Dude, ACAB versus Thin Blue Line could be a really good episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What is ACAB? I'm...
All cops are bastards.
Oh.
All cops are booty juice.
So
I guess we're not explosive in 2A since we already did that. So.
Crump, you're for the you're against the Convention of States.
I'm against it. Yes,
I'm for it.
For it.
Because Mark Levin said so. Actually,
Right.
Chris Ann Hall is against Convention of States.
I'm gonna restart the poll with a.
All cats are beautiful. That's funny. I just shook my whole desk laughing.
So 2A and the Republican plantation was doing good.
Yeah, we're gonna start it again since
Yeah, we probably ought to run because we only had 14 votes. So let's let that run.
Yeah, I am. It's just because I put a topic up there that's already been done.
Where are
CNT.
the peeps?
CNT said, how about just most cops are tyrants?
So we got 43 people watching on John Crump Live.
We have 65 total.
Crumpy, you're underperforming on X today. Only 7 people
I know.
watching.
I've been like killing it on X lately.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. But whatever.
Well, thank you all for coming and hanging out. We currently have 66 people in here, and it's a joy to have all of you here. For those of you that are here that don't know who we are, I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. That's Flying Rich. And if you're here, you likely know who John Crump is.
Oh, it actually, so I was online at the gathering, and somebody heard my voice. They're just behind me. They're like, are you the guy that's on the show with John Crump? I'm like, yes, I am.
That's funny. I ran into a guy and I was like, oh, I'm the guy. And he said, I can't say I'm familiar.
Did he say I'm not familiar?
Yeah.
Not familiar with your work.
Barton Fink said, not familiar. God, you guys.
Hey, the new poll's about to go up. So let me know what you want to do. We'll let you guys decide. But there will not be there will not be a uncensored next week because I'll be traveling.
Wait a second. Out of your basement?
Yeah, I gotta go check on some other properties.
That's weird.
So I'm going out of my basement to other property. To my
other
basements.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not buying another house, are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, so I'm not actually. I'm just transitioning basements.
Is this potentially
your basement fluid?
Is this potentially agricultural land that you're looking at?
No, I'm not buying any place. I mean, I already have it.
You got land?
I don't have a land. I'm going to New York for like a week, and then I'll be in Delaware for a week.
Oh,
Or
okay. All right.
New York for a couple days, then Delaware for a week.
I thought you were saying when you were saying you were going to look at some properties. I was like,
No, not look
Yeah,
at
it sounded like you're
check up
shopping to me.
properties that I have. No, not getting other properties. Not right now.
because we had talked about potentially looking at a place to do place stuff at the place.
Yeah. The one I found that they wanted to. We found a property, Rich, and
Mhm.
it was a great deal. And they're like, yeah, but we still want to have access to it.
What? No,
Yeah. That's actually not uncommon.
that's not how you sell it.
They can. Everything is negotiable. They can write in anything that they want, and actually, a lot of times with acreage, they'll try to sneak some ish in there. And not only did they want access to it, they wanted access to it and to profit off of it.
Yeah, they wanted. It was a like a gun club there. They wanted to sell it, but they still wanted to have their gun club there.
Yeah, which could be cool. If
Hold
we
on.
had-
That's nuts out. That's pretty.
Yep. Ron Bear said mineral rights. Yes, riparian rights.
Yeah, so we weren't down for that. So we were like, no.
What
End of
is
the conversation.
Katrina confrontation? Oh, are you talking about them grabbing the guns?
You're the one who that was your topic. How do you not know what it is?
While. It's been a while.
And it has been a while, Rich, and I feel like it's kind of your fault. I'm just kidding.
No, it's been. Well, we wanted to just. We were gonna start it up, but then I got pneumonia really, really bad and was really, really sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't do it. And then Rich couldn't do it.
In Delaware for N weeks.
You were.
And then Dark couldn't do it.
Yep, Dark couldn't do it.
And then Rich couldn't do it again. And now we're finally back.
Yep, we're back. So now Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be going back to the Uncensored podcast on
That's
Rumble.
not the MVE meeting?
No, it's not the MV.
That was rescheduled.
That was.
So how do you guys feel about red flag laws?
Dude, you mispronounced it. Don't get me another strike. That's how Hoff got me a strike, by using that word.
Red flag laws?
Yeah, except without the yell.
I didn't yell.
Exactly.
How do you guys feel
remember
about
that when I got
laws?
that strike, Rich?
I do. Let's not put too much emphasis on the syllable.
Syllable.
So how do you guys feel about these red flag laws, and also crazier stuff beyond that? But go ahead.
Yeah, I did a story on it today. On the National Extreme Risk Protection Order Resource Center. It's what I find interesting. It's being run out of Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Studies Solutions. Sorry, and
So
that
it's
is
a
heavily funded.
Partnership.
It's heavily funded by Everytown, Brady, and Giffords. Like all. Now the government is going to be throwing money at it, but before it was 100% funded by those groups.
Unbelievable.
Which is absolutely bonkers.
I wanted to pull this up too, because in addition to Rich, thank you for this, sharing some great stuff with me. He also shared Google ordered by federal government to identify who watches certain YouTube videos, which is an interesting thing. So I'd love to.
Yeah, we definitely get into that too, which is kind of crazy.
I'm
like
sure it's alternate lifestyle makeup channels that they're highly concerned about.
Yeah, naked yoga,
I didn't believe you guys on that until I Googled it, because I was just like, God, they got to be BSing me, and I was like, oh wow, never mind.
Breastfeeding, naked yoga.
I haven't looked at that. I just looked at the one because you guys said it to me, and I thought that was just so unbelievable.
The next Barton Fink. The next well, I won't say anything. I'll be respectful of your platform.
Yeah, I just don't want to get another strike.
I know. I don't want to. We've been, honestly, I'm so surprised we have all been. You know what? Don't even want to say. I don't even want to jinx it.
I just remember BWE saying, that's for, that's for
British cigarettes.
British cigarettes.
Yep. It sounds like treason to me, Brandon. You nailed it. So in the United States, there are certain things that are guaranteed to us. Okay.
Late insist.
If we are late insist, if we're caught doing something that is alleged to be an illegal act, what typically happens to us? In most cases,
ATF shows up at 6 a.m. in the morning and shoots us.
yes. Well, they shoot our animals and then they execute us. Aside from that, though, what is supposed to happen in most cases?
If you do something illegal, you get they go get a warrant. They arrest you. You have your day in court. After a warrant's issued, you get to face your accusers.
Mhm.
You get to fight. That
And what happens if you
it's
can't
not an
afford an
ex parte
attorney?
hearing.
Yeah,
And,
what-
and
what
how
happens-
many of the constitutional amendments are covered in that? I mean, it's what the search seizure, due process. What do we
Yeah.
got in there?
I mean,
A whole bunch.
yeah, several.
Ron Baer
Fourth,
presumed
fifth.
innocent.
And
No.
what happens if you can't afford an attorney?
One will be
One
provided.
is appointed to you by a court of law.
Absolutely, that is paid for by who?
Citizens.
The people.
Yeah, well, so the government through the citizen, through
F the government. They don't pay for anything. We do.
of course, but I'm saying the way that it's described in most cases. Come on, make it a little bit easier for me, guys. And then, are you assumed to be guilty prior to? I see Ron Baer just said it, right? You're presumed to be innocent, right? Now, let's talk about red flag laws.
Yeah, what happens is they go to an ex parte hearing where you're not aware that there's anything going on, and the government, which we know a little bit about the government trying to do some sneaky shit in court without you knowing,
A little bit.
Behind your back.
behind your back. They go for a warrant, and they go for a protection order, extreme risk protection order. You have no right to defend yourself there. You don't even know that they're going for that, and they issue it based on solely the accuser's statements and nothing that you.
Or they just pull a name out of the hat, as they did in that one Florida case.
Yes, John Carpenter. There's a guy named John Carpenter. Let's go ahead and talk about that really quick. There's a famous director named John Carpenter. Ghost to Mars, a bunch of really cool videos. I mean, movies. But there's a guy named John Carpenter, and this lady had a guy that she red flagged who was living in her house, who was a Nazi. He had a big freaking swastika on his chest and everything. And she's like, yeah, he's dangerous. So she went to the police, and the police looked up John Carpenter's concealed carry permit and said, oh, this guy has a concealed carry permit. Address isn't the same, but he lives in the same county. How many John Carpenters could there be out there? And then they went ahead and red flagged him. And then the lady's like, that's not him. And the police were like, yeah, that's him. No. And it took the media getting involved to actually have them drop the red flag.
Ish. And what, return his firearms?
Yeah.
That sounds. Were all of his firearms seized?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's funny. Do you guys remember that instance where I don't believe it was a red flag law, or a red flag seizure, whatever you want to call it? We should just call it an illegal search and seizure and
Gun
apprehension,
confiscation.
confiscation. Yeah,
Order.
everything about this is illegal. Everything, and of course, seize the guns first, due process later, right?
Unless you're Ketanji Brown Jackson, then it's infringing on the government's right to keep people quiet and shut them up and take their guns. I may have put words in her mouth.
We all know that everyone has a natural right of feeling safe. Everyone has a natural God-given right of feeling safe.
My father-in-law wrote a manifesto on that.
Oh, I don't think you want to jump into that right now. But I mean, Is that a natural right?
It's the good and plenty clause on the Constitution.
No, you don't have the right to feel safe. There's no right anywhere to feel safe.
Not at all.
It's not a
at
natural
all.
right.
Hold on.
Not at all.
I mean, we did cover this in the
The
biblical
good and plenty.
citizenship class.
Just look at the animal kingdom, right? Do
Yeah.
any of those animals feel safe? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. Approach a wild animal, and you know,
Unless you're a predator.
No, then the predators are always getting eaten by predators.
No.
there's always a bigger predator.
All right, hold on.
I don't even remember where I was going at that point.
Clause.
Yeah, when you said good and plenty clause, that totally took me out.
Okay, we have a question here by Warsaw Patriot, and what? He says, can a
What?
person get red flagged if you produce 2A adult films? I've seen some adult film actors that are pro 2A in guns. I don't know.
I would assume that wouldn't be the primary focus on that. I mean, unless you're talking about like that chick that was banging herself with a semi-auto handgun
And it
What?
had negligent discharge.
and had a negligent discharge.
So I want to read to you the good and plenty clause of the U.S. Constitution.
And that's how
We
you
the
get
people
kids.
of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Well, the good and plenty clause, as people, who's the dude, the crazy hair dude that's running for president?
Cornell West.
Like
Vermin.
yeah,
The guy
Cornell
with
West.
the
West. Not he's not talking about the boot on the head guy. He's talking about Cornell West.
The
I
guy
thought
with
he
the
jumped
boot
down.
on.
Cornell West believes in the good and plenty clause, which is promote the general welfare. Now, promote the general welfare, the object of that, as was discussed in the Constitutional Convention, was the welfare of the federal government, not the individual. So, yeah, about 30 seconds worth of Googling, you could have figured that out. But people like
Too much
Cornell
work.
West call it the good and plenty clause. And like this person I debated on my show one day because he didn't like me wearing a Trump hat, and he commented, I'm like, come on my show, let's talk. He thought he should have a train at his house whenever he wanted to take him wherever he wanted.
Well, and he had a
Because trains are
plan for
good.
that, right? As
Yeah,
long as
just like an Uber, you should be able to summon a train to take you wherever you want.
as long as
It's
the
a-
trains
the good and
run on
plenty
time,
clause.
that's the most important thing. As long as the trains run on time.
No. Let's back up there. That's not the most important thing.
And nothing about box cars. Yeah, I mean, you got to ride in a regular car, not a box car.
Cattle cars. Maybe there's a little too much.
Maybe we're getting
satire
too
here.
spicy for YouTube, and we need to save this ish for 10 p.m.
I don't. We're being cryptic enough that AI would just be confused.
Yeah, but
But
no,
here-
red flag laws are terrible. They're unconstitutional. They are against our rights. Our right denied.
They
Right delayed
violate
is a right
almost
denied.
everything in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, a right delayed is a
literally-
right denied. It seems like that the Democrats, and it is Democrats for the most part, but there are some Republicans, look at the amendments as nice to have and not requirements, not limitations.
Well, I was amazed at during the pandemic that all of the rights that we had were like, whoop, it's like asterisk in case there's a pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, it's there's an exception for health. No, there's not.
Absolutely not.
It's like your freedom to worship. Like they were arresting people that were having church services in cars in parking lots with their windows rolled up and broadcasting over like either AM or FM radio or whatever. They were arresting them.
Yeah.
They're arresting people alone walking on the beach.
the train that guy wanted running on him was not on tracks. Says CNT Designs and Arms. He wanted the Eiffel Tower. The thing is that every
Someone watched a habitual line fender today. Habitual line crosser, sorry.
Habitual line crossing?
no, actually, the funny thing is I was running
was
Eiffel
yesterday.
Towers when I was like sub adult years, and Rich hit me up yesterday and was like, "Have you ever heard of being Eiffel Towered?" And I was like laughing. I was like, "What? Yes. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, I just heard about." I'm like, "Hold on, you literally just yesterday heard of being Eiffel Towered the first time?
Yeah,
You've
that's
never
the first time I've heard of it, and I didn't Google it.
What? You've never touched sweaty hands with another man while banging a chick and effing her in the mouth? Oh my goodness.
Oh, dark.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Should I go? I'll go.
How did
All right,
we
I'm back.
open?
I'm back.
I'm gonna be at church 4 nights this week.
Well, every time you think of Paris, you're oh, this is supposed to be family friendly.
Yes.
Save it for 10 p.m., man.
Oh man, my
And another
apologies.
network where we won't get banned.
Look, every single thing that occurs during the process of a red flag law, from the moment that it's conceived, meaning the thought or the idea in the end of in
Are
the
you saying
reporting
red flag
individual's
logs
head.
are conceived as with the Eiffel Tower? Is that what you're saying?
They're yes,
All right, let's get off the Eiffel Towers.
yeah. So yeah, we don't need to get into when conception begins, because that's a difficult thing to prove. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Too many slight jokes and sarcasm. Excuse the facetiousness.
Because that's all we got.
The reality is that the moment that the moment the thought comes into the reporting party's head, everything that happens after that moment is wrong, illegal, unconstitutional, immoral, and not only that, it's a violation of every single thing. I mean, name one part of the entire process that is okay, that's lawful, that's reasonable, that's constitutional.
Yeah, but Trump's like richest man. Trump is a big fan of red flag laws.
Yeah. Take the guns first, due process later. That's reasonable, right?
Rich, would you like to
Thoughts, Rich?
respond?
No.
Oh, you don't even want to respond. Look,
No, it's not reasonable. I'm saying no to it not being received.
No, I thought you were saying you didn't want to respond to it.
okay.
No, I mean, hey, gosh, I'm gonna go with the Ed Koch saying, "Vote for me if you agree with me on, 7 out of 10 things, and if you agree with me on 9 out of 10 things, get your head examined."
Yeah.
That's a real MFing problem.
Yeah, it's not good. What do you think about Kamala Harris making the announcement down in Parkland?
I'm not familiar.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not familiar with
I mean,
what.
it just seems
that's
like
where
an
she made the announcement
extreme.
about the new program.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Because she's been there so many times before consoling people, right? It just seems like an extreme amount of effort to pull this off.
Political theater.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry, I thought you were saying that she had made some type of new statement if there was like an anniversary thing. I don't know. I don't keep up with all that stuff. So now, even though that all of this is illegal, unconstitutional, immoral, in every possible way, it's wrong. I'm sure that like when guys with guns go to a gun owner's home unannounced, performing no knock warrants, I'm sure that like nothing bad has ever happened through those things.
Oh yeah,
No.
you're talking about other red flag laws when they offed
The guy in
guys, yeah.
Maryland.
Yeah, that was like I think that was one of the first few in Maryland to.
Yeah, it was the
place.
first one in Maryland.
It was the first one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm against no knock warrants.
Hold on.
Let me
No
knock warrants.
let me understand this. I'm not sure.
Go
I
ahead,
get it.
Rich. Yeah, hold on, Rich. Hold on. Go ahead, Rich.
So you're telling me that if you do a no-knock raid on a guy that you think shouldn't have guns but has guns, and
That's
you
wise.
don't think
That's a wise thing.
there's a problem.
Well, because
could
if it's a no
and-
knock, they beat down the door, they get in there, they're so fast that there's no way the other person could fight, right? There's no way that they would think that maybe they're under attack, that they're going to be kidnapped, that
Is the
they're gonna be
government
murdered.
familiar with a thing called home invasion? A
I think
crime
it's
called
something
home invasion?
they're highly skilled at. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're just saying they're mad. They're the OGs
Well-
of home invasion.
But here's the whole thing about like no knock warrant. They're a recent invention. Like
Really?
within the before the 80s, there wasn't no knock warrants.
Yeah, I was going to say how recent?
Like they started in California in LA.
In the 80s?
Yeah, when they first introduced SWAT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever remember a time where
Well, they
there
weren't.
weren't.
I mean, they weren't used a lot even up until recently.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, they've been occurring. I'd love to, pull some stats to get some more information on this, but even just from my observations, they've definitely become way more of a rampant issue among law enforcement, specifically federal law enforcement.
They were illegal until the 1970s. But they weren't used until the 1980s.
How is it? Help me out here, guys. How is it that the feds and law enforcement, and you know what, a lot of local law enforcement is guilty of this because they're typically supporting federal agents, right, when they do things like
Mhm,
this.
mhm.
How is it that law enforcement is so highly skilled at assaulting and killing normal people, but they're so terrible, including it up to the judicial system and imprisoning people? They're so terrible at putting away actual criminals and repeat offenders and keeping
You
them
mean
inside.
like illegal aliens that beat up cops in Times Square on video?
Sure, them.
I think that's
Others.
more of a problem with the DAs
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
than anything else.
Have you guys noticed a trend of police undercharging nowadays instead of like when I was a kid, when I was younger and in trouble more often? I would see people being overcharged, highly overcharged, and then they just get what they get whatever sticks. But man, I feel like the actual people, the criminals, are being praised. They're getting slaps on the wrist now. They're being encouraged to steal, to cause havoc. This is the chaos that they want. They want this chaos to be here. And maybe it's because maybe I give them more credit for thinking that they plan. By they, I mean the government. Maybe I give them more credit for thinking that they plan and that they're this maniacal versus just being complete idiots. But I think part of them is like, if we have total chaos, the general public will know that they need us. They'll pay more in taxes. They'll pay more for a loaf of bread and for milk and for food and
You know,
Yeah.
I read a good book about the militarization of police. I'm gonna look it up. I can't remember what it was called. It was a few years ago,
Brandon
it-
says, oh, sorry, go ahead.
and it goes into the history of it.
Notice how you started talking, and then I was like, oh, sorry, go ahead. Rich, you could take notes.
Rise of the Warrior Cop.
I'm kidding, Rich. I'm just busting your balls. Rise of the Warrior Cop.
Yeah, I mean it's a good book.
There are literal federal programs.
Well,
that-
it goes into that.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the program, but I've had a very well-read individual that has lived in that world for most of his adult life. from like the military and law enforcement perspective. And he broke it all down on everything that happened from when we've seen cops that were just cops walking around with a sidearm to now cops running around in full kit, plate carrier, and I'm not saying that, oh, cops shouldn't have long guns and shotguns and plate carriers. And I'm just saying that my local sheriff's office has MRAPs. They have those crazy bobcats that could bring,
For breaching.
small units up to like the third floor of yeah. I mean, they have explosive techs and bomb robots
Yeah,
and
they have that all in Ashburn, and Ashburn isn't exactly a high crime area.
no, and that's not
Gotta do
and
something with that tax dollar.
dude, so I'm one county over from John. I'm not very physically far, but um, we're pretty close to each other. And um, John, you live in the richest county in the world. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yes.
Okay.
And who does everybody in your county work for?
Federal government.
Not everyone. There's a
lot of CEOs and
There are the housekeepers. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
a lot of CEOs and doctors and everything else, lawyers, stuff like that too.
but also people that work for companies that may not be the government, but they're contracted by companies that are contracted by companies.
And
Yeah, a lot of
contracted
defense
by-
contractors, a lot of tech companies are located out here
Yeah.
too.
All of them.
So part of this, backing up a little bit, part of this when these police agencies like a police office, like a police station, is a business versus a sheriff's office, which is still monetized, but they're different. Um, both of them, when they agree to the program, which I forgot the name of right offhand, but when they agree to take part in the programs that are available to receive this federal support, where they get not only funding but they also get additional resources, they get additional equipment, they get MRAPs and machine guns and bullet. I mean, dude, literally, I have seen at an event where law enforcement had a table out and stuff like that. They had a freaking VLTOR MGL, which is a 6-shot grenade launcher, 40 millimeter grenade launcher with a rifle barrel. I might add. They have to do what they have to abide by the federal program, which means they have to do what Daddy Gov says to continue getting the funding and all that shit there. It's putting the boot under the boot.
Yeah, it's a 1033 program, I think is what you're looking for.
1033. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, one car pass says Crump's neighbors are CIA agents or allegedly PMC contractors. Funny enough, there is a few PMC contractors of a neighborhood, and the guy that used to live behind me was the CEO of our PMC. Kind of funny, but he moved. Cool guy though.
Yeah.
He watches the show, so
Let's see. There are 3,127 counties in the USA. Wow.
we're
Yes,
number one.
correct.
We're
Your
number
name.
one.
If you don't spend it, you lose it next year. Correct.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
do.
you see all this crazy shit. Like you see, or crazy stuff. Sorry. You see, for an example, your sheriff's office be issued brand new HKs, and then the next year, all of them go back to Glocks, and then all these guns that we used to see brought back into civilian hands, like law enforcement trade-ins. I don't know. I'm just not seeing those too much anymore.
Well, here, in, like Loudoun County, for example, they use HKs.
They did. They're back on Glocks.
They're back on Glocks now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I know they still use the 416s,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they were using like the what was it? They were using The
They originally had
USPs.
the USPs in 40 cal, then they moved to the P30s in 9mm, then they moved to Glocks. They're all back on Glocks.
Yeah, but they still use HK 416s though, right?
I'm not sure. When I worked at the shop that I worked at, I helped work on a neighboring county's rifles. Like we would work on their carbines and shit. But I never saw. I just thought. Well, I have no. It's not true. I have seen a Loudoun County cruiser with a Colt AR with
Yeah. So when
with
I
one of
saw,
those
I
barrels.
saw one the other day, and it was a 416. Maybe
I
they
mean,
have a
that
mixture of stuff.
yeah, that's a nice. I mean, I guess it there could be several different types of ARs, but for the most part, handguns are going to be standardized.
Well, in Loudoun County, every time they switch out guns, they allow their deputies to buy their old guns for
Purchase them.
$1,
Yeah,
and they switch out guns a lot,
yeah, yeah,
like a lot.
yeah. Like literally, they went from HK USPs in 40 to P30s in 40 to P30s in 9 to Glock, and they may have gone back and forth from Glock 40s to Glock 9s.
I know they for a while was using HK USPs in 45 as well.
Oh, I did not know that.
I know that for a fact. Yeah, I know like a former deputy who bought his HK 40 USP 45 for like $1 when they
Yeah,
switched
yeah.
to
I
the
knew
40.
when I started paying attention, they were rocking 40s in the USP.
Yeah, well, what they would do is what they would do is they would go because you can trade in your gun whenever you want, right? So they're like, oh, we're gonna go to the HK USP and 40. So they all took their 45s up there and traded it in for a brand new 45. Then the next day paid $1 for that brand new 45.
Dang, nice.
Which was, I don't know, it's not good.
I love my USP 45T. Yeah, dude, the USPs are cool. They're nostalgic guns to me. However, if you've held an HK USP and you're like, man, that's cool, and then you grab a VP9, you're like, whoa.
The VP9 is a lot cheaper and it's a lot better gun.
So I guess it depends on which one you get. But if you're getting like the FDE one, the newest model with the FDE frame with the optic cut, I mean that shit's still like $800.
Yeah, but I mean, the one I want is
Oh, you want
is
the
the
John
VP9
Wick?
Match or the VP9 LOR are the two that I would really love to get.
Yeah, yeah. They got some up there at Exco.
Oh no.
They're pretty nasty. The city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, those citizens have no clue how much money has been spent of police toys over the past 16 years. Millions, and all sitting in storage basements just waiting to use. Dude, that's what a lot. Do you think the sheriff's office out here uses 40mm grenade launchers often? They do. From what I understand, they do use them for, tear gas, smoke, signaling, and things like
Well,
that.
the 40mm? Because
Yeah,
usually it's 37.
you can use both. They do make 40mm cartridges
I
in.
thought 37 is a lot more common though.
They have both. They
Okay.
have 37mm and 40mm, but they do make 40mm. So typically 40mm are going to be used for Alchi rounds. The big either the wooden blocks or the rubber bullets or the
Ouchie.
Alchi rounds. Yeah, it's like,
Less lethal.
yeah, we don't want it to kill you. We just want it to change your mind pretty quickly.
No, Jason
So
King went to XCal.
they'll throw. I was just there the other day.
I was there the other day too.
37mm is more common for us. Yeah, I think when I saw that they had a 40mm MGL with a rifled bore, that for anyone out here that doesn't know, that is specifically for shooting 40mm grenades. That's it's not like a 37 millimeter smoothbore. Now there are 37 millimeter destructive devices like that. It's but for the most part, from a law enforcement perspective, 37 millimeter is more common because that's where you can very easily get tear gas, smoke, CS gas, whatever you want to call it, those kinds of less lethal rounds. And they got, what is it, like the 45 cal buckshot rounds that are less lethal, the rubber balls, all sorts of stuff. The wooden blocks, dude. If you guys have ever seen those 40 millimeter wooden block rounds for riot control, crowd control, less
Yeah.
than lethal, my ass.
I just want to answer this here. Is that an AE86? I used to have AE86. But in the picture, but yeah, the 37 millimeter is what is considered a flare launcher. A 40 millimeter is a grenade launcher and a destructive device. You can still have it. It's just you pay the $200 tax stamp, and
Yeah.
It's interesting how you do it. You got to buy you got to buy them in the specific order. You buy like I think the receiver first.
Well,
And
it
then
depends on if you're doing a Form 1 or a Form 4.
yeah,
You
I mean, if you're doing a Form 1, which is the easiest way, you buy the receiver first, you do the Form 1, then you buy the tube. Or if it's a tube, then it's the receiver first, then the tube.
So it used to be that they restricted the rifled barrels. They no longer restrict the rifle barrels, but having both of them without an approved destructive device tax stamp would be,
Violation of
constructive
NFA because
possession
that's
or
constructive
constructive
intent.
intent. Yeah.
Is
Brandon,
absolutely bonkers.
HEDP rounds. All right. So Crump and Rich, put your jazz hands up real quick. All right, both you guys, jazz hands up. All right, keep them up. What does HEDP rounds stand for?
High explosive. Come on, do the rest.
I know what it is. I'm checking you guys.
No, I did high explosive, not Rich.
DP. I don't know. Is P personnel? I don't know.
Double
I don't know.
penetration. I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
No.
High explosive dual purpose. I was just checking. I didn't want Rich put his hands down real quick. I thought he was Google searching that shit. They make 40 millimeter Nerf rounds. Yeah. Hey, Chris Bulls. I have a USP9 tactical V1 in hand with the
And if
UTL
they're dual
LED
purpose, what are the two purposes?
I don't know exactly. I could think of a couple things, but
No, anti-personnel and anti-vehicle.
yeah,
Anti-material.
anti-material and yeah, probably.
No, it is.
But I'll tell you, those are extremely creative and advanced things. It's simplicity, but I would say simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. Like these rounds are set up to where when the primer is ignited and the grenade is leaving the casing, it's set to be able to track how many times it's spiraling through the rifling in the bore.
Turns, yeah.
Yeah, the number of rotations. And let's say that you were on a naval ship and you're aiming your 40 millimeter grenade launcher. Typically you would be using the belt fed, the Mark 19. But let's just say you were on a ship and you're aiming it, out at some pirates, whatever, and someone just opens a door right in front of your muzzle. It would actually not explode if it contacted the door a foot away from the muzzle, because it would know that it hasn't spun a safe distance away from the muzzle, right? So like it I don't know. I find that so fascinating that they can design things. Now anything that's smart like that can also fail pretty easily too, But I just find it cool. Doesn't attaching it to an AR-15 require a third tax stamp? I think once the destructive device is registered, I believe you can attach it to an AR-15 without any additional stamps.
Yeah, I don't know.
Has Everytown come out against the chainsaw bayonet yet?
Probably. Don't you own that domain?
I do.
Chainsawbayonet.com.
Yeah, reactivevest.com, tannerightdog.com.
Yeah, of course. Just in case anyone wants to buy
What
those.
game out there used the chainsaw bayonet?
I don't know. Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I have no idea.
No, come on.
Drew Bradley says 37 millimeter and 40 millimeter versus Keltec's KSG 24 rounder riot control. Ooh, dude, that would be pretty brutal. If you were to load some rubber buckshot or some rubber slugs into the KSG 25 round KSG, that thing is brutal. I'd have to go rubber buckshot on that one because it's just like everyone's in the party, whether they were invited or not. You know, dude, the rubber batons, the rubber slugs, those. Brandon says Gears of War.
Correct.
They have a shape charge for armor, correct, Brandon? What they do is if you think of the shape of a little copper funnel. Maybe I should give too much info out here, but if you look at a cutaway of a 40 millimeter HEDP round, it's basically it's really the same as an RPG round. It's got a shape charge for the shape of a funnel to get through those difficult materials.
Yeah, this was
Possible.
that was from the USA Today, the chainsaw bayonet when they
Possible modifications. Chainsaw bayonet. Hold on. Was that published by
USA
Yes.
Today.
Wow. Dude, how retarded are those guys?
Yeah, you never saw the article?
No, hold on. This
Hey, yo,
it's
Crump.
funny. My foot is in the picture. I gotta. Oh, and it does a redirect. Hold on.
Hey, yo, Crump. Why you been banning people from your Discord? Free speech much? I'd be willing to guess that
It's one of Fud's guys.
So hold on.
Crump probably doesn't personally manage too much of that. I'd be willing to bet. Don't you have like an assload of mods?
Yeah, I do.
So chainsaw bayonet redirects to flyingrich.com, but after it puts up a image of a AR-15 with a chainsaw.
I'll say this on that note real quick. I used to very much agree with anyone can come in and say anything they want, and if someone came in and they were saying all sorts of crazy shit and insulting me and whatever, I would just take it and I'd be like, well, it's free speech. And somebody
Well, they're trying to get mod rights.
well, in this case, somebody had said, okay, your live stream, your Discord, your whatever, like if the difference is that if you're out, in public and someone comes up and says something, whatever, I'm not going to slow them down or stop them or anything. But if someone walks up in your living room and starts screaming, crazy stuff, then it's different. Like this is Crump's living room. His Discord is Crump's living room, and it's whether it is him or mods or whatever, it's different. So now I know that all of us are advocates for, absolute freedom.
Absolutely.
Mr. Crump bans free speech from his Discord. From whose Discord? From his Discord?
Yeah. It's if Fud Busters decided to raid the Discord last night.
Man, how dare you? What kind of speech were you censoring?
I wasn't censoring any speech. No, they got banned for trying to trick the mods into giving them mod rights.
To what end?
People do not break the rules, and he bans them. So this is one of those anti-free speech, dude. If you are in here, if you're in here saying that Crump is anti-free speech because clearly you got butt hurt by somebody, let me just say this. you're doing exactly what I was just saying you should not do if you don't want to get banned. You just ran into Crump's living room saying, "Oh, you're this and you're that and you're that." No, you know what? Like, dude, don't be surprised when you get banned doing crazy shit. And if you think he's anti-free speech because he doesn't want to be
it's a troll,
annoyed by
dude.
you, I know, but like, dude, it drives me crazy, man. Like, you don't get banned because he's anti-free speech. You get banned because you're annoying. Butthurt Buckshot. I just heard my
And of
phone
course,
starting to go
Safety
off.
Harbor Firearms in the chat, maker of the SHTF 50.
For all of your 50 BMG needs, do you have that difficult neighbor that's 2,000 yard? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
If you have that Tyrant in an MRAP,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to end wrap actually.
Dude, I've literally looked at prices. They're highly expensive.
not highly annoying.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Ready, guys? I got to bust out of here.
Bust it. Bust it.
Yeah, we gotta go anyway. We'll be back at 10 o'clock on Uncensored
Yep.
over on Rumble. So we will see you guys there. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you so much for watching. And with that,
Thank
see you
you.
tonight. Bye.
See you tonight.